Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another wonderful day. We are going to be continuing on with Act 3 today, but of course, we have that vocab quiz to take. So find yourselves over to Google Classroom so you can take that quiz at some point today. I am going to have that being closed about noon tomorrow, so make sure you get it done. We are going to be going on with some of our Shakespeare stuff. However, I do want to take a minute and talk about Shakespeare. You're going to see a thing posted. It's an infographic from SparkNotes. Yes, SparkNotes. If you've been watching these videos, you know to check out SparkNotes for their No Fear Shakespeare. However, we are going to be continuing to use some of their resources because, well, they're pretty good. But the big things I want us to kind of pay attention and note are specifically the themes of this book. Well, not really this book, but this play. Macbeth is centered around the idea of unchecked ambition, unhinged ambition. And what does that mean? Well, that means what lengths are we as people willing to go to achieve our goals? For Macbeth, it's a relentless and repetitive cycle of violence and killing and just violence against other people. And so, what does that look like? Well, I mean, obviously the killing, but in everyday life, maybe that's abuse inside of the home. Maybe that's abuse against people's partners. Maybe that's just manipulation of people. Uh, we also need to consider guilt and how much does guilt play into a part of our everyday lives and specifically the lives of Macbeth and how does that influence our actions? We also definitely should be talking a little bit about how that guilt can lead to paranoia and how all of those things kind of interact with each other, all of those emotions, and how those are channeled and funneled when we have things that we are trying to accomplish. Of course, there are some other things that we will develop and pick up on as we go, but those are the things that I want us to focus on most importantly in the past two acts and all of Act 3. I would also like us to pay attention to soliloquies, asides, monologues, all those sort of things. And well, what are the difference between those? Well, a soliloquy is just any time that a character is on stage and they are talking just out loud. Maybe it's to themselves, maybe it's out loud, and people are there to hear them, or they don't care that people walk in, or it's just when they're talking out loud. A aside is specifically when a character talks to the audience so that way we can understand their thoughts and motivations. So, how can we understand their thoughts, their motivations, all of that sort of thing? And then obviously, we've also got how do we separate that and what's the purpose of that? Well, an aside and a soliloquy help us establish a sense of dramatic irony. Dramatic irony, if you're still unaware, is just where the audience knows something that the characters do not, right? Classic Shakespearean example of this, Romeo and Juliet. Obviously, we, the characters, know that the Friar and Juliet concocted this plan where she's going to pretend to be dead, but Romeo doesn't know. And there's a whole moment where he walks literally out the back door as somebody walks in the front door with that information for Romeo. In Macbeth, so far, we know all of this, kind of the sense of dramatic irony when um, Banquo leaves, specifically in Act 3, and he goes to run his errands on his horse, and we know that Macbeth is hiring murderers to kill him. That's something that we, the audience, know, but the characters might not know. Or something that might be earlier on in Act 1. Macbeth has that aside to the audience where he's thinking about the prophecy and what does that mean for him and all of those sorts of things. And that kind of lets us know about his inner thoughts that the rest of the characters are not privy to. So just pay attention to those moments as we go through and we develop our understanding of this text. Obviously, if you're still struggling, please check out No Fear Shakespeare. That is a great resource. They have both the translated and the our original versions side by side right next to each other. You can buy your own book, or it's for free online. So check that out. It is unlocked. If there's anything else that you need from me, please let me know. Good luck on the quiz today, and I will check back in with a little bit more Shakespeare information tomorrow. Have a good one, everybody.